Hello and welcome to another free code session. My name is Jason Bach, and as you can tell, two things are different. One, I am not at my home with all my instruments and other fun things behind me in my office. And there's another person like in the background behind me, well, sort of behind me. He's sitting in I've got the higher chair, but he's like 6 inches taller than me. And he's going to be doing this. This might be a big regret of my life. I don't know. Quite possibly. You want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Rocky Lhotka, and I'm here to primarily, harass or pair program with Jason. That's what it is. We're going to pair program.
Yeah, call it what you want. I'm seriously regretting this already. I think this is a terrible idea, and all I'm going to be doing is be making fun of. But we're going to have fun while we do it, right? Yeah.
Hey, why are we in a hotel, Jason?
Because we like each other.
Yeah, that's probably right.
No, so do I have it? Yeah, I do. I've got back here. The reason that we're in the same room together is because we are at this. Move that in there. You can see that. There you go. So that's my badge. He's got his badge. We're at the MVP Summit in Redmond, and he's getting his badge just to prove that it's legal.
Right. Just because I'm really here.
Yeah, you're there. So there, got it.
Oh, and one of the cool MVP things is that they have badges that you can wear in case you're interested in something. They got a whole bunch of different things.
What are you committing to? Celebrating differences.
Celebrating differences. That's important.
So you're celebrating people that are bald because they're different than you.
That's exactly right.
Got it. Okay. So when you go to MVP Summit, and this changed when I first started, when I was first in MVP and celebrating my MVP-ness.
That's an old joke. Inside MVP joke there.
Very old joke that nobody says anymore because it's probably not very appropriate. But it was said by somebody in just one of those things where you say it and then you don't realize what you said until you said it, and then the whole audience starts snickering. It was
said by somebody on stage.
Yeah, it was a woman at Microsoft, right?
No, it was a dude.
Oh, I thought it was...
No,
okay.
No, it was a guy, and he was giving the keynote opening, like, welcome everybody, and then he was talking about how wonderful it was to be an MVP.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, his...
Didn't you say something about you have to share your MVP-ness?
Yes.
I was not in the room, but I heard about this spread rather rapidly.
Pretty sure it was a dude that was
Yeah, so that didn't go well. But... So long ago, you got to get your own room for free. Now, you can go, the event is still paid for. Your flight has to be your own thing. But you get a room for free, you just have to room with somebody. So, I don't just want to be teamed with any rando. So, I'd rather be teamed with a rando that I know. So we get the room together, and, that's why we're here together. So... I decided in my infinite wisdom, why don't I do an episode or two with Rocky so he can just tease me and make fun of me? So what we're going to do are a couple of things. So I'm finally going to get around to a couple of issues that I've had on CSLA, primarily around the analyzers. And this is one of them. Actually, that's the same. Oh, see, there's the hotel Wi-Fi for you. So... one of the things when analyzer projects first started is they still have the old, not SDK CS project file format. I've noticed that they're now updated so that you use 1.3, and I took some notes. So I just want to update the CS project file so that's a little bit more updated, and hopefully that will go rather quickly. But if you watched my videos before on my channel, you know that when I say something is going to go quickly, it takes about half an hour because things just break. So that's one of them. And then the other one is a bug that I've been waiting to fix. You can see here, that's like 2016. This is like getting on 3 years old.
So are we really going to do these? Because if you are, I can actually put them in the CSLA 5.0 project.
The intent is that we hopefully get this done.
Okay.
And by we, I mean
I'm going to bring out my little my little Surface, and I'm going to add Project 5.0 because that's keeping things track of with the project.
Okay, so. This one, when I first built this analyzer, if I remember right, I actually dug into like some internal members of the analyzers to figure out if something was serializable, which really didn't work in the large. And as somebody reported, it was a problem. So what I traced it down to was an issue, as you can see here. Oh no, that wasn't the one. Oh yeah, so this issue from Roslyn, which if I open this should, I think at this point it's closed or merged. Yeah, and I think they finally, Julian's Umbrellas. Okay. Fixed his merge. So it's been in there now for well over almost a year.
Long enough that somebody snuck spam in there? Is that what?
No, I don't know. Julian's Umbrella. I don't know.
Okay, interesting.
It was some guy named Julian probably on the compiler team.
Huh.
It was their work. I don't know these people. So, but it's in 15.7. So by this point, it should be this little name type symbol is serializable, should be fully workable, and we should be able to fix this once and for all. So, this is the first one. This is 804. But the thing that I'm going to need Rocky's help with, and this is where he can tease me mercilessly, is that I'm used to just going into GitHub and making a branch that I'll eventually just, say merge. But no, I had to fork, and so I have not touched this CSLA stuff in quite a long time. So I'm completely lost as to what I need to do to just get to a point where I can actually start working on this again.
Okay. It shouldn't be that hard.
It shouldn't be. I mean, because I made the fork a while ago.
Pretty normal GitHub stuff.
Yeah, see, here it goes. Starts already.
Yeah. Well, but to be fair, most people in their day jobs are not following sort of a GitHub-style flow, right? So,
Sure. So I have an existing repository. It should be... and I think I owned... did I clone those? See, this is one thing about GitHub desktop, is sometimes it forgets where you were. It's not Analyzer Abstractions, it's CSLA. That's the one I think is...
Well, if you're going to update the repo to be current, you want to be in the top-level CSLA.
Right. Well, that's...
Do you think that folder is it?
I think it is. Let me actually check quick.
See, now you make fun of me for using a mouse, but I'm going to make fun of you because I do all... Look at your mouse usage right there. And
What?
I do all this through the command line.
Good for you.
I'm a real programmer.
Yeah, whatever. It takes you longer. So this is actually... So this is where the Git folder is. So I think this is the actual directory that I need to tell it to go to.
I don't even know how to do this through graphical tools. It's too inefficient.
Yeah, oh, you should talk. Don't even go there. You're like Mr. Whatever. So if I say that, and I say select folder, did it not like that? Oh, no, it did. Okay, so you say add repository, and there we go. And
now, when it fetched, did it fetch from the Merrimer, like the true master, or did it fetch from your fork?
This I think is my fork.
Okay.
I think.
See, that's the part that these tools I've not figured out with the graphical tools is like if you're doing the GitHub approach, because you've got the true master, right, and then you've got your fork, which is origin. And so there's a difference between origin, which is your thing, and then the upstream remote, which is the actual shared project for the world. And I don't know how to make these things, like, at the command line, you just do a git fetch or a git pull.
So, yeah, I just... Okay,
but before you start... So, I mean, you asked about this, so how do you get started? Before you start doing any code changes, you need to make sure, to make your life and everybody else's simpler, you need to make sure your local code on your laptop is synced with the upstream repo.
Right, yeah. I get that. What I'm getting at is, I'm thinking what I should just do is just completely delete this directory and just start over. Like, from my fork,
isn't there an XKCD about that? Like, anytime you get too deep into Git trouble, you just delete the repo and reclone?
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, there is an XKCD about that.
I'm just like, let's just get this started from scratch.
But you shouldn't have to do that.
I shouldn't have to, but there's nothing on my machine that I would need to preserve anyway.
Okay.
I don't need.
So we don't want to show people the right way to do it.
I don't care. I want to do the way that gets me to start doing this, because we're 9 minutes into this and I don't give a crap.
All right.
Censoring myself.
Well, don't let me stop you here.
Yeah, you are trying to, though. So
I am.
Let's just say remove it. No, we don't want to do that. So let's just say remove. And then I'm going to come here and just say delete CSLA. I've always wanted to say that.
Yeah.
So, God, look at that, like, what, half a gig?
It is. Well, because you probably have built CSLA, so you've got all the binaries, plus all the samples, plus, I mean, yeah, it's... plus the docs.
So I should... One of my repositories should actually be CSLA. Because I forked it. Per your requirements.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
So
now you need to do a pull request from the upstream back into your master. If you're going to do it the way I think you are.
I want to do it the way you want me to do it.
Oh, well, I don't know how to do it without doing it at the command line. So, if I'm happy to tell you how, it's just you're going to have to do it at the command line. That's all.
So here's a command line. What do I do?
Go to the directory that you want to put the repo into.
Okay, it's still deleting. You know, there was a thing a while ago on Twitter where people, like, you know, just mention something that people think, well, you've been around for a long time as a developer and you still do this. And I think, like, Charles Petzold said that, you know, he's been a Windows developer for God knows how long, and he said, and he still struggles with, like, Git commands and stuff.
Yeah.
And people, like, you know, but that's just the point. Is like, people that just go, I'm on Stack Overflow on this all the time.
Well, actually, I wrote a blog post, even though there's a volume of information about how to use Git on the web. I wrote a blog post because every time somebody wants to do CSLA stuff, one of the hardest things is this right here. It's like, how do I get started?
Yep. Okay, so we're there.
You actually need to be up one level, I think. At least, and then actually delete that CSLA folder. Because Git will create it for you.
Yeah. All right.
I'll do git clone, and then that's the easiest thing, is to go grab that URL.
See, I know how to use a keyboard. See?
I see that. That's impressive.
Okay, so I say clone that.
Yeah.
And then it's just going to put it right in my code projects directory, which is not what I want.
Right.
Well, you just said delete the directory.
Oh, no, it's going to create a CSLA subdirectory for you.
Oh, it will?
Yeah.
You sure?
I am. 99.2% sure.
That's not good enough. Oh, look, a CSLA. That's a JS thing. That was a terrible idea. There's a Git folder there now.
Yeah,
right.
Told you.
So what do we do in the meantime while it's getting 70,000 objects?
So I'll explain what it's doing, because what it's doing is it's pulling this down from your fork.
Right.
And your fork is out of sync almost certainly.
Oh, yeah, because I haven't done anything with it in a while.
So basically, whatever state your fork is in, it's pulling that stuff down, and it'll unpack it.
Yep.
And then what we're going to have to do is add another remote to your local, because the way Git works is kind of fun, right? In that you end up with
this is fun. This is total fun.
You end up with a repo locally.
I know this.
Is a mirror of the remote repo.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
but
shoot.
But you're but you're going to have to add to this. We're going to have to add a remote link to the real upstream remote so that you can sync with that one and merge all of the current CSLA stuff into your local.
All I want is new crap into my crap. That's all I want.
Right.
Okay, there should be git move crap.
There should. And the other way to have done this would have been through the web UI. You could have done a pull request from the upstream into your fork. And then done the clone.
Yeah, which would have then been updated.
Yeah, except that then what would have happened is that your local clone would have actually had that erroneous merge request.
Okay.
Right, in its history, and we're like, we don't care about you updating your fork. That's silliness. We don't want to see that.
God, this is complicated. And I say this because for now the last year or two, I've just been doing my own projects exclusively. And so whenever I do a new feature, I just make a branch, do all my stuff in there, and then I eventually merge that back into master.
Which would be awesome, except that if I wanted people to do that in GitHub, I would have to give write access to my repo to a whole bunch of people.
Yeah, but can't I just clone the repo and then just ask for a pull request, and you can't take it unless you approve it?
I don't think you can, though, because you have to, maybe I'm wrong, but you'd have to, somewhere in here, you have to do a git push to take the stuff off your laptop and push it up into the cloud.
Right.
Where does it go? You don't have write access to my repo, so it can't go there.
Yeah.
And that's where I think I would have to give you
is...
write access to my master CSLA repo.
Yeah. So what? Okay. So then you're saying the same flow or a similar flow would have to be what Microsoft is doing for Roslyn and ASP.NET Core and everything else.
Right. That's correct.
So everybody has to fork and do this.
Yes. This is the normal GitHub flow. And in fact, and to be clear, I don't do what you do. So even me, even though I actually have write access to my own CSLA repo, obviously, I work off my own fork because I want to have the same experience as anybody else contributing to CSLA.
True. Now, the only thing, and I'd have to look through the history of this, this is that benchmark mocknet, which somebody created to have like a benchmark of all the mocking libraries. And at some point, I added my, down here. So here's my commit. So merge remote tracking branch. But I don't remember, and again, this is 2 years ago, so it's been quite a long time. I don't remember doing the thing that we just talked about, which I thought I just said, make a branch, commit, and then he had to actually accept it.
We could try it.
We could. But I have write access though to your repo.
Oh, that's true.
So it would be kind of
because you're one of my inner circle trusted, and that might have been a mistake.
Well, that's definitely a mistake. So, I don't know. I want to actually get to code. I don't want to screw with this. So
So now you have to do get remote, if I remember right, add, and then I think you want to call it. I always call it Merrimer because that's the name of but you can call it upstream or whatever you want to call it. I use lowercase though, because otherwise you got to hit it's Unix, remember. And then space, and then now go back to the web UI and go to the GitHub. You can click that one right there. Hey, that's got a sharp corner on it.
It does. And you already damaged one of your elbows.
Yeah. Luckily, this was not that one, or I would have howled.
Yeah.
So now grab that.
Like that?
I believe that's correct.
I believe that's classic consulting terminology there.
Let's see what happens.
That was great.
Why did that work?
Do I have to actually be in the CSLA directory now?
Oh, you do. That's true.
See, I know how to go up like that too.
That's
cute, isn't it?
That is cute. Yeah. There. So now type get remote, and I think it'll just list the remotes. Yep. See, there we go.
Okay.
So now we know that we've got the upstream remote and your origin, and so now you should be able to type get fetch, and then Merrimer, and I think you just hit return. And so now what it's doing is it's going to the upstream and pulling down any changes from that and merging them into your local
So now
repo.
At this point, just because I'll remember this, if I want to do this again, so I think somewhere I have CSLA, and I'm going to do this. Jesus. New section. Fine. Using Git. How do I do this? So if I ever have to do this again, that's the first thing I'm going to have to do, right?
Yep, that's correct.
Yeah.
Now what's interesting is that that fetch doesn't change any local code. It pulled down everything, but it didn't activate anything. If that makes sense?
Sort of.
Well, because the stuff that you pulled from your fork is still active. In other words, this didn't overwrite anything yet. And so now the trick is that we want to create a working branch that is based on your origin, but or connects to your origin, but is actually based on the true upstream master.
Okay.
And so now what you do is you type get checkout -b, and this is saying, hey, we're going to create an actual new working branch, and then I usually give it the issue number that I'm going to work on.
Right. So 804.
So I do 804, and then I do dash, like update or something. This is for me, because nobody actually cares what the name of your branch is.
Yeah. So.
Yep. And then space, and then Merrimer /master. Because what you're saying here now is that I want to create a new branch named 804 update for NS13, and I want it to be based off from the master. And what's tricky here is that now you can hit return. Now what's tricky is that Merrimer master is the copy that you just fetched. It's not actually going to go up to the internet and pull down Merrimer master again. That's what the fetch did. This is pulling or creating a new branch based on what's on your local hard drive already. Right. And it's taking a while because your fork is pretty out of date. Right. So it's applying all those differences for the last 2 years or whatever since your fork was updated.
Right. Okay.
So I occasionally blow away my fork and recreate it, because my fork, your fork too, they're just working areas. They're just dummy areas. And so I occasionally just blow it away in the web UI and refork so that I don't have this delay like you did.
Okay. So can I actually start coding now?
Now you can.
So we're almost at time. Not really. So if I come here and I say CSLA, and then source analyzers. No, wait, I gotta be, because they have all of them there. That's the one I want. Okay.
Ooh, a one-way upgrade.
Yeah, that's probably fine.
Well, they're yet another programmer answer, right? It's it's probably okay.
Well, what I think it probably did is the V6 project is actually nothing we ship, the CSLA.
Correct.
So that's just for me to test it locally as an integration project, so that's not a big deal. All right, so we're here. We got that. Why is that? What is that? Why is that in there?
That looks like the .NET 4.6 version of CSLA itself.
Yeah.
You must bind against that or something, huh?
Maybe. I didn't think I did, but the big thing we're going to do here. Whoops.
Well, I hope actually you don't, because then that's going to if you do, that would be complicated. Because now, of course, there's the .NET Standard version.
Right. I shouldn't. In fact, I don't even know why this is here. Unless I do it from the tests. Yeah, it's referenced here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes some sense.
And if I remember right, yeah, this is not it. This needs to be updated too. So we're going to have to update this one as well. Because this is probably still the old not SDK file format. All right, so to my notes.
To the notes, Batman.
Yeah, that was clever. So we're going to say creating analyzer solutions. Just add that up. So the first one I'm going to have to unload. God, this is so painful.
It's so nice we don't have to do that anymore, isn't it?
It is. And
we're just going to blow this sucker away and replace it with your...
Yes and no. I just want to look through this quick. Probably not. I just take this. Now there should be two references to tools, install, and tools, uninstall. Those are also... Yeah, so it actually doesn't reference those explicitly, it does it all in one here. Tools, copy to output directory, preserve newest. This one says always.
Okay.
Yep. True. Package.
That's the stuff NuGet runs to actually install and uninstall the analyzer, right?
Yeah. So, of course, we're going to want to change some of these things. Those all have to be there. Do we have like names here? We have CSLA analyzers as the root namespace and the assembly name. Package ID, package version, authors. See, none of this
won't the package ID be the CSLA.analyzers then?
You know what? Let me do this. This is where source analyzers. Because there was see the new spec doesn't really, that needs actually this should actually go into the new file, because all the package stuff you don't need a separate new spec file anymore. That all goes in here.
Well, except I do, because the CSLA build pipeline builds off from a top-level master new spec file. Because I create like 8 billion NuGet packages.
But do you actually have to say, though, when you build this project, do you actually explicitly reference that new spec file?
I don't know if I use yours or if I've got a copy of it up in my NuGet deployment folder. It's a good question.
So even with the CSLA.NET Standard version, does that...
well, the big thing is that the CSLA core NuGet package includes multiple CSLA.dlls.
Right.
And I'm doing that all through shared projects, not through a common CS proj, because I'm actually building stuff as far back as .NET 4.
Right. Right. But
so my new spec file is like this handcrafted deal.
Right. I get that. But what I'm saying is okay, so I thought you had a version of CSLA that was .NET Standard 2.0, right?
Yeah. But it's one of several that's in the CSLA core NuGet package.
Right.
Because if you're still running .NET 4 and you reference CSLA out of NuGet, you get the .NET 4 version. And if you're running even .NET 4.6, .NET Framework 4.6, you still get the .NET version, and everybody else gets the .NET Standard one.
Right, but this is a little bit of an outlier, though, because this isn't dependent on any version of CSLA.
Right.
This is just for Visual Studio, really.
So we can find out, rather than speculating, we can look quickly in the NuGet directory of the CSLA. I think it's up one more. It's not in source. There's a NuGet and then definition. And all my new spec files are here. And I don't know if there's an analyzer one here or not.
I don't see one. Okay,
so now you should open core.newspec because it might ship as part of the... Now scroll down and see, because there we can see where it's doing .NET Standard, .NET 4, .NET 5, .NET 6. Oh, and there's the analyzers. Yeah, because when you install CSLA core, you get the analyzers.
Right.
So they actually ship in the CSLA core.
Right.
Yep.
So I guess what I'm saying is...
So nothing that you do in your project around NuGet ever gets used for real.
Okay, so what this is getting at is this new spec file could really be going away.
Yes.
Because we don't... Yeah, I mean, this isn't even being used. Okay,
correct.
So... And the version and everything. So, I think what this is saying is package ID, packer version, and author, those don't even need to be there. These don't need to be there. License acceptance, you make that decision. I don't know if was ever a description, was there?
No.
Doesn't.
Those, I think, get pulled out of the new spec, right?
Well, this is the current new spec file. And so there was never a description for it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Unless...
Well, I suppose it doesn't get used is the reason.
Right. So that can go away. That can go away. There was never a copyright, was there? Or was there?
No, because that's part of the core new spec, right?
Package, tags. That might have been there, but again, I don't think really any of that mattered for this.
No.
And so, resource designer, I don't think I actually ended up using any resources. Yeah, that's because that would have been in the resource direct. Yeah, and there was that. I think I nuked. Yep. So that can actually go away. This will need to stay though, because those are the.
Yeah, we need to make sure that path is the same as the old path.
True. And those were tools. Install. We don't have an app config. There's no reason for an app config. But yeah, so that was tools. Back up here. Tools. So that looks right.
Mm-hmm.
And then output path assembly name. So this should all just go bye-bye. And that's all we have left.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it always feels good to get rid of code, and you got rid of a lot.
Now it's just like, does it actually work anymore?
Well, there is that.
There is that. What did I just do? I have no idea what I just did. Let's see, reload. Well, reloaded.
That's step
It looks like
one.
there's a lot of code there.
Step two.
We don't need the packages config anymore. That goes away. We don't need an app. I don't think there's anything. Yeah, this is all crap. That can go away too. Well, it is.
Technical term? Is that what that is?
This was never used at all. Tools, we got to keep those. That's code that I use. Bin debug. Why is that showing up? Oh, and then the properties. Yeah, this is another good one. So once I show this, we're going to start another one.
So yeah, either you have to put the directive in the CS proj to aim here, or you need to merge this stuff into the CS proj.
Right, in the CS proj for this.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah.
Mostly what I've done with CSLA, because I've got so much stuff and I've actually got scripts that update the version numbers here,
Yeah.
I don't merge it back into the CS proj. I use the directive in CS proj files to aim the compiler to actually use the assembly CS or assembly info CS file.
Okay, so then why is it barking at these? So it's like a dupe, because it makes...
No, because you have to put, in your CS proj, you actually have to put a directive telling the...
You see, I never did that, so what is that?
I don't know, you have to look at one of my other CS proj files.
Which one?
Probably go to the net standard one, I bet.
No.
Yeah, so all that generate assembly, all those lines,
Yeah,
those are all the ones you just copy.
like that.
Yep.
Okay. And then we do that. And so now these...
Yeah, maybe
Oh, I
have
gotta
to
save it, yeah.
Save it, yeah. It
Sure. They go away.
Yep, there we go.
All right, so if I say build... No. Build CSLA analyzers. Does that actually work? It succeeded. All right, so we're going to do another episode where we actually do something.
Oh, that's awesome.
so whoopee, yeah, this worked, but we got some more work to do. So we're gonna end this one here, and then we're gonna just continue on. Hopefully, we can actually get something that works. So, thank you all for watching. Leave comments and questions below. See you in the next episode.